Alright you guys, our next video. I've done a lot of electrical work in my almost 30 years career as a building superintendent, super, chief super, whatever you want to call me. And I've worked copper wire, aluminum wiring, and here it's been 9.5 years, over 9.5 years. I'm going on 10 years in a few months, less than a handful of months. I'll be here 10 years. It's all mostly aluminum wiring here. Probably way over 90%. I've also done a lot of projects here where you see me taking a three-way switch and putting a double gang box. I'll put the link in the description to that. I'll put the link to my electrical tools in the description, and maybe a couple other switch projects together so you guys get an idea what might help you, what might not. I try to describe the best I can what I'm doing. Didn't want to make the video terribly long. Excuse me. But I got the bulk of the information in there. The gentleman or the person who did this wiring here really messed up bad. Left loose wiring, the caps were loose, had the wrong size cap on the ground, and you can see how things started to heat up and arc and burn the cap and everything like that on the neutrals. I am working live here, I described that, but I'm not pulling a lot of current just for light. The second I disconnect the load, then I'm not pulling any current at all. But you still have to be careful. You don't want to arc anything, okay? You see me using gloves a lot, okay? You try to see me go step by step, pause the video, go to the next step, and then record the next step. If I left anything out, you guys just let me know. I have a lot of good information on my channel. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys next one. Right? Bye. Okay, this is what I intend to do. Take this switch out. Put this in. And use this cover plate. Like that. Okay? So, I'm not going to bore you with all the details. But let's see if there's a ground and a neutral in there, otherwise I can't do this. Okay, I pulled both the switches out, so hopefully you guys can get an idea what you're looking at. The yellow wire nut over there is the ground. The burnt orange one or red one here was probably red at one time. Let's see if we can move the camera a little bit. That one there, those are neutrals. And these should be the hots right here. These should be the load on top. I'm going to test it with a little pen tester. See it somewhere. One of those guys. Okay. So let me change the camera angle. Start doing my job. Test it. And I won't be able to film because I have to actually disconnect the power here to change the switch and everything before I put everything back. And I have to clean up those neutrals because they look pretty funky. Alright, okay, I'm using a flashlight for this. Got my little pen tester here. That's the load. That's the line. That's the line on the bottom. It's too close. Sometimes it's too close, you get problems. So. That one should not be picking up. Okay, good. Got a little spark. It seems like the neutrals were actually kind of loose. So there is current going through these neutrals back to the box. That's why I got a little spark. I'm going to cut the head off a little bit. This is live. Then I'll go get another wire, put it here, and I'll probably use a blue wire now, which is going to be a little bit bigger than what's there. And I'll tape this up so I don't have issues in the future where it starts loosening up. It's probably the gentleman or the person who did the install didn't realize that things were loose. Okay, I got my wires cleaned up. I might put a little yellow tape here. Right now, from what I'm looking at, I don't see it. The blue wire nut is so huge. I tightened it by hand, and again, I grabbed this guy and did the final tightening. Okay, so far so good. Now I got to put everything back together. Again, hot, light load, neutral, and I didn't do my ground yet. Shoot. Whoever did this work was very sloppy. The wiring nut for the grounds wasn't even tight, and it's the wrong size. And this was very loose. That's what, and the neutral wires were not tight. That's what caused all this mess. I'm cleaning it up now. If you see something like this, be careful, okay? Okay, now I got what I need. Hot, load, neutral, and ground. I should be good to go for now. Now the power goes off first, then your load, neutral, and ground. When you put it back on, you put it back in reverse. You put the ground, neutral, load, and line last. Okay, this is the safest way to do it. Take the power off immediately, put the power on last. Usually make a little loop there, put it in, try to tighten it. As you can see, most of my equipment is actually electrical rated, so that's a good thing. Okay. Then I'll grab my screwdriver, tighten it up, and then you loop it around the way you tighten the screw. Okay, I got my wiring in place. Got the load in place. Okay, screw's tight. Ran downstairs and sure enough I tripped the breaker. Probably I might have very tiny arc when I put the power back on the switch. Right, but there it is. I hooked up. Now we're going to push everything back and put the cover on, and we're going to test the outlet, okay? But at least let's test the lights. Now they go on. We'll push everything back nice and tight so nothing's in the way. We'll put our switches back, okay? We just want to be careful with everything. I can stop putting my screws back. Nice and tight. Okay, good deal, okay? There it is. Okay, you ready to test everything? I'm waiting to see if the outlet's going to work with the switch off. Okay. Says correct wiring. Okay. Switch off, outlet doesn't work. But when you come in here to use a hairdryer, whatever you're doing, you're going to have the lights on. I've had the same effect with a three-way switch I put in. Actually, I put an outlet, did the same exact job, but I put in a double gang box. It was a single gang box. It was a three-way switch in there, but it did have a ground, did have a neutral, some similar job to this. That's a lot of wiring for this double gang box. I would turn the power off.